Good Saturday afternoon. I am in Kokomo, Indiana, and this is Kokomo Little Links. Saturday, April 25th, 2026. I am Frank Bissessi, and I have played the course just a little bit here, and I'm going to take you on a little bit of a tour here. This course is quite challenging. I'm going to try to give you a little bit of a rundown. So, hole one, ignore the par signs. These are all par threes. So you can tee up in these rectangular, kind of squarish teeing areas. And then you can navigate the slopes here, and the hole sits back right in this area. So the thing about this particular course is that this is layup golf. This is not your typical mini golf course where you are trying to make a hole-in-one, or a putt-putt course where you're trying to make a hole-in-one. It's very challenging. There's a lot of shots where you're going to use the features, you're going to use the rough slopes, and even on this hole here, the slopes don't go towards the cup. So if I just hit a ball out there, right, it doesn't go anywhere. So you can either play that and lay up, and you can see how it slopes back down. Here, you get 6 inches of relief off the rough. That's part of the local rules. And then you've got this 15-footer back up the hill, breaks a little bit to the left for your second shot. But there are ways where you can play it, where you're using the rough and you're jumping it. So you're hitting it here, you're jumping over this to kind of get it to pinball down there and get it kind of close. There's a little bit of a luck factor involved. If you give it a good smack, get it up there, it'll kind of bump off there. You can get it a little bit closer to the cup. And then these putts here are actually pretty straight. And that's how you basically play hole one here at Kokomo Links. Hole one, hole two are one of the two toughest holes. These all play par three. So here's two. Down the fairway. A little bit of dogleg to the right. And the hole sits back here in the open area. This is another one where the slopes don't go towards the cup. You have to get creative. Just a little bit straighter here. Okay, so from what I found, the best way to play this is trying to get it to roll. This is kind of like a pseudo bunker. You're trying to get the ball to roll through this bunker, and you've got to hit it hard enough. You can see how this rough, there's kind of a wall. You get it rolling through there and pop out. If you can get the speed right on it, you have a decent chance of getting close. Hole one and two are not really ones that you want to try to make. So you're starting all the way from the far left. And I want to come really close. I'll call this an elbow. The ball's going to be rolling through here. You want to try to hit it hard enough to jump through the rough, through the sand, and out the other side. So I caught a little bit of the rough. You see what happens. A little too far right. That should be a little bit better. And that one got stuck. So you have to hit it actually even harder than that. So it's a very challenging course. And then this putt is pretty much impossible to make from here. You just kind of smack it out, get it down there, and make your three. That other one wasn't too bad. So the other way you would do this would be to try to figure out a way just to lay it up. Something completely different than what we normally do, right? So just try to lay it up. Maybe we can play a shot where we hook it a little bit, hook it over here. Don't go out of bounds. You hook it into this corner, let it kind of use the slopes, just feed it out here. And then maybe try to get it into this area. And then make your par putt from back here. if it slopes to the left. And it does. So maybe just play it into this area. Then I just aimed that one just a little bit outside the right lip. That actually rolled out pretty good. So I think in this particular course, you're going to want to play shots where you lay up to certain areas and it's more of a golfing mindset. All right, moving on to hole 3. The first one that's somewhat makeable. It's uphills ever so slightly. You want to go right in between the triangular shaped rough patches here and a hole right in the center. Now in the beginning of this putt, there's a little bit of a crown. You're going to want to start the left side of the tee and get it going right of center through there to have the best chance to make the ace. And I am missing a ball. Might be in the cup. It is. All right, so this is crowned in the beginning here. And if I hit a slow shot, you see how it just kind of takes off to the left. And if you start farther to the right, okay, so, and then once it gets past the channel, it's going to want to sneak a little bit to the left. So if we start one shoe from the left side, one shoe from the left corner and one ball, and we aim just right of center and just bang it up the hill, it gives you a good chance. That ball actually tailed off to the right. Normally those had been going to the left. So a shoe and a ball will go a little bit farther out. That's what I have been used to it doing, going to the left, so there's a little bit of a variance there. But basically getting it through, right center of the channel and getting it up here and getting it close, you have a chance to make it. That's how you play number 3. Coming onto a jump hole. Actually works pretty well. All right, this is hole 4. So you have a jump here. You want to hit the ball hard enough to jump over this rough, and this rough is quite tall. Get it sloping back past the cup, and it will turn around and come back towards the hole and have a chance to go in. Optimally, you'd want to get this ball from here about 11 o'clock-ish or so, and it'll slope back down towards the cup. That's the ideal spot. You have to hit this ball much harder than you think because the rough at the top of this ramp is really tall. It will just gobble the ball up. You can't even see the ball. Look at that, it stayed in there. You got to hit this ball, you have to smash it. So we're going to starting from the right side. Remember, I want to get this ball missing the cup to the left. On the clock, 11 o'clock back there. Even if it goes into the rough behind it, it'll pop back down. Just give it a good hit. Do not be afraid of this putt. Ramp it up there, come back off, slope back down, and that's how you play hole number 4. There's really not much else to do. Just make sure you hit it hard enough, ramp it up there, get it right in the middle, and you have a really good chance to make it or get it really close. All right, moving on to hole 5. Got some customers out here, so we're going to be motoring through this. All right. So this course is ADA accessible. You play hole 1, and then you with the sidewalk kind of tees there. You play hole 1, then you start on 11. You play the back 9. You play it twice for those that are ADA that have those needs. All right, hole 5. Teeing area, slightly uphill, breaks ever so slightly from right to left. And the hole sits back here. So the object is to get this ball running right through there, just to the left of that rough berm. Not too much room behind the cup. Not too much room on the sides either. You should make a 2 on this hole most of the time. Okay, so what I found in a little bit of testing here is if you're a little bit too slow and a little bit too far left, there's a little ridge right here where the ball will start to leak left. I mean, you'll end up finishing, and even here, this is only 2.5 feet from rough edge to the cup, so not too much danger. Should make a 2 most of the time on this hole, as long as you have somewhat good speed. So here's another one that we're starting from the left side. This one is just one putter and a ball from the left, maybe even one putter. And I want this ball to come really close to this rough if I want to have a chance to make it. No problem bailing out to the left. That one actually turned back to the right and went in. Normally that ball would kind of just ever so slightly start leaking to the left a little bit, but that's how you play hole 5. One putter from the left side, and then just aim, get yourself aligned where you're, one putter off of this rough where your ball's going right through there. And you saw, even at the very last instant, it was tracking left, but then it turned right and went in. So that's how you can play hole 5. All right, moving on to 6. So here's hole 6. So some of the challenging parts of this course is that the green does not feed towards the cup, and here's another example of it. Up the rise here and then down. You kind of want to, if you can, you want to use this part of the triangular shaped berm to get the ball curving around there, but you don't have to. You can just play it and just lay it up, and it's only like 2 feet back past the cup. This is not one that is really aceable. A lot of the holes, I should say here, it's kind of luck based whether you make it or not. There are some skill holes, as you saw. I mean, even hole 4 is pretty much a skill hole as long as you just hit it hard enough. So the object, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to use the curvature of this to get the ball to slope like that and go towards the cup. It's got to be perfect pace. Everything down here, if you try to cut the corner, everything just slopes away from the cup. But again, it's only 2.5 feet and you get 6 inches, and it breaks a little bit to the right from there, but it's not bad at all. So trying to hit that berm with just the right speed. I play one shoe from the right. I'm going basically straight up the gut of the hill to try to hit that berm and get it to kick over towards the cup. And I missed it. And I got stuck in the rough. So that's part of the course. I missed it. I was just trying to hit this little tiny part right there. And then when you get stuck in the rough like this, there's no relief. So you just have to figure out how to play it. Just pop it out of there. It shouldn't be too bad. Just pop it out. It does break to the right from there, but it's not too bad. But that's the gist of playing hole 6, is if you can hit this spot here. I'll try to hit another one. One shoe from the right. That was pulled a little bit. You can see how if you use the berm, it'll kick it over there. I pulled that one just a little bit. Just trying to bump it over there. It's difficult. But that's the gist of how you play hole 6. All right, moving on to hole 7. We got a nice little gap here in the customers. So follow the sidewalk right here. On the hole number 7, there's your teeing area. Up the hill, it breaks from left to right, going up the hill, and the hole sits there guarded by that bunker. And you can probably guess you want to go straight through the bunker to have a best chance of getting it close or making it. And the hole sits in this area. So there's a little bit of luck involved. Again, from playing some of the shots here for the last hour. I've only been here about an hour practicing. Usually when I do these videos, I'm here for a couple of hours really learning the shots, but we have a little bit of a break in the customer, so let's get it done. Plus it's a little bit more authentic. So I'm like about one putter from the right side here on the tee box. And then basically what you're trying to do is you hit it here and it kicks it to the right and it comes through the bunker and then it hits this and it kicks it back to the left towards the cup. That's the object anyways. So you're just aiming just a little bit off the corner. You got to give it a good hit. Every one of these shots, you got to hit it a little harder than you think you do. That was a little bit too far right. It's worked out good. And I got a smooth roll that time. And that's the thing. There's the randomness. The first one, I got the nice kick, and then it kicked over next to the hole. The second one, I got a nice smooth, and now I'm stuck up here in the rough again. That's very difficult. You're putting in a downslope. So that's the gist of how to play hole 7. I mean, if you want to, you could roll around. You could kind of go around the world, so to speak, and just kind of lay it up. If you don't want to jump it through there, just kind of go around the ring, and you can just lay it up over there, and then you can just learn this par putt. It shouldn't be too bad. 6 inches relief. Some sticks out there. You get kind of these sticky saplings. That's pretty straight. Not too bad at all. So lay it up over there, straight putt on 7, or jump it through, try to have an ace. Tough one here at 8. It says par 3. Everything on this course is a par 3. It's up the hill, turning the corner. We call this the molar. If you look at that, it looks like a tooth. Like that, it's pretty good. Looks like a tooth up the gut here. But this is a layup shot. All right, so what you're trying to do is trying to get the ball somewhere in this zone, anywhere over here, to have a chance for a 2. So you start from the extreme right side of the tee, and I'm going to jump it through the middle berm there, the long strip, and try to touch the back rough. Again, this is another one. You got to hit a little harder than you think you do. That's a good shot. It helps if you can get it up here and rolling back this way, but this is fine too. 6 inches of relief. This putt shouldn't be too bad. I didn't hit hard enough. Looks like from over here, maybe you need to aim at the right edge of the cup. Still didn't hit hard enough, but that's the shot. Right edge. That's the putt from there. I have been here. This putt broke a little bit to the left. That one stayed straight. But just try to get it through the strip over here, and you have a chance to get a 2. Definitely get a 3 out of it. All right, moving on to hole 9. All right, straight back into the sun. Hole 9, you have this trough. There's 2 speed bumps. There's a bump here and a nose there that'll influence the ball going to the left. So you want to aim at the right edge of the trough to get it to go through. Also, it's back here. You can play it safer and go around to the left and just lay it up. So we're aiming here because this nose influences it to the left. So I'm starting 1 shoe and a putter from the left side and aiming at the right edge of the trough. Okay, a little bit farther out. The ball's in the way. There's a little nose right there. You want to get that, but if you get the ball through the trough, it'll roll down towards the cup. It is a little bit random. The trough is so wide, but if you get it in there, you have a good chance to make it, or you have a really good chance of at least getting it close. And that's basically how you play hole 9. Moving on to 10. Here's another one with trough. There's 2 of them, left and right. It's a little bit uphill, and it breaks a little bit to the left, going up there. Get it down the trough, and the hole sits right there. All right. I think it breaks to the left. Can't remember. One of them it breaks to the left before you get, besides the last one that broke to the left. One of these breaks to the right. I started from the right side of the tee. Yeah, this is the one that breaks to the right. Okay. Aim at the left part of the chute. Those aren't very good examples. There you go. Get it down there, and it can line up. That was right down the center. How about this one? Okay, it's a little randomness. That was dead center of that chute when it came out. Plus from back here, not too bad, pretty straight. That's how we play hole 11. I mean hole 10. Hole 11, good chance to make an ace. Up the hill. Split the berms. Cup sits right there. Okay. This putt, it's pretty straight overall. Like a shoe and a ball from the right, straight up the gut. Actually, just one shoe. Straight up the gut. Not that. That's not straight up the gut. Oh, I got so lucky there. Okay. Well, you can see I pulled it, but I bumped off the inside of the rough there, and it worked out pretty well. Putts from back here, pretty straight. It looks like it's a little uphill. That's just how to play hole 11. Straight up the gut from the right side of the tee. 12. Gonna spend a little extra time on 12. Breaks to the left, going down the little slope here. And the trough. Yeah, that's what you got to work with. So, I'm gonna show you, it's too dangerous to go through the trough. I'm gonna show you the way that I figured out how to play this to get the ball close to the cup. No chance of making it. But it's somewhat safe. Start from the right side, one putter off the right. You're gonna smack it through the rough and jump the water. And that got stuck, not hard enough. There you go. Oh, I got stuck too. Wow. Well, you want to jump it over here to get the ball to jump off the rough and come through here. Then it'll leak out towards the cup. It is not worth it at all to try to go through the trough. Not whatsoever. So play to the right side, jump it through the water, and you have a decent chance to get it down into the flat area for a 2 on hole 12. All right, 13. Another hole with troughs. It slopes from right to left. So you want to aim right center of the first trough. Creep it through there. It'll go through both troughs and it'll get all the way to the cup. Another one's a little bit random how it comes out. But if you hit a good shot, and get it into the first trough, as long as you're not pinballing off the sides of it. So I started 2 shoes from the left. And just get the ball started, aiming towards the right side of the first trough. Not far enough right. That might be too fast. Yep, a little bit too fast. Putts from back here should be pretty straight. 6 inches of relief. Pretty straight. Not really too much to do about hole 13. If you do get stuck over here in this area, you could either play it all the way around, but if you practice this a little bit to get it through there, it's not too bad jumping it through the rough to at least get it down to the bottom area. And there's going to be shots you're going to find that you have to do that, to just jump it through the rough. But again, every hole's a par 3. So there's that. All right, now 14. Probably the most difficult hole in the course. It's a snake around the bend, down, and the hole sits all the way down here. None of the slopes feed to the cup. So you either need to figure out a way so you can lay up and then make the par, or risk everything, jumping it through the rough here, and it kicks here, and you're hoping it hits here, and then it lays up somewhere over here. So I'll show you the very high risk shot. That can go out of bounds, just like that. Or you just hit a layup. And you're hitting this layup about that far, and that's it. Actually might be a little bit too far. It's down the slope, and it breaks a little bit from right to left. If you get your ball over here more, you have a little bit better chance, a little bit better angle to make this. Not quite hard enough, but it slopes ever so slightly from right to left. So I would suggest you just lay it up to that spot and then practice that 15-foot little downhill right to left putt here on 14. All right, moving on to 15. 15 has it's kind of like an arrow or a mushroom. So up here, we got this area in the back. It's a little bit uphill, and the cup sits on the left. It's a little backstop back here that will catch the ball. However, you don't use it. I will show you why. Everything that comes up this hill breaks to the right and goes away from the cup. You do not use that back slope at all. Best shot is to jump it right through this rough, right through here. Even if you go back past the cup back here, it'll turn around and creep back a little bit. So whenever you hit these rough spots, you got to hit it just a little bit harder than you think you do. You're basically aiming at the cup. Maybe left lip. Get it up there, and from that angle, it'll turn around and come back towards the cup. I've never made it like that, but at least from that side, it'll turn around and come back towards it. If you try to play it up the gut, you go all the way over there, nope, it's still going that way. So cut the rough, aim at the cup. You have a decent chance to make a 2. Sometimes you'll bounce through the rough and it'll go in for a 1. And that's how you play 15. All right, moving on to 16. Another great chance for an ace. There's few of them, few and far between, but you got to take advantage of it. 16. Right between the water and the rough. Hole sits there. The closer you get to the water part of the rough, it starts to want to turn a little bit to the left. Once you get past it, it wants to just continuously leak to the right. So you want to try to get this ball rolling through here to influence it left, and then it'll turn back right. 1-2 from the right. Aiming just a little bit inside the rough from the water. Creep out. There you go. That's how you make 16. So once it gets through here, it wants to start to turn a little bit to the right. Moving on to 17. All right, 17. It's uphill. And you have this kidney bean shaped kind of bunker here, and then the hole sits to the right of it. The object is you can to hit the corner of the bean to get the ball to kick towards the cup. Otherwise, it does not slope over there. Or I'll show you the secondary shot, which is to play it around the ring, and you just get the ball to lay up over here. Probably more a professional shot would just be play around the ring and take out the randomness. You just start from the left side, 1-2 from the left. If you can put hook on it, great. Just get it to bounce over there, bounce off the rough, and then you can get the ball to come get close. The other way is 1 putter, aiming at the corner of the bean. You're trying to hit the bean to kick it over towards the cup. Like that. That's 2 different ways you can play it. You're trying to use the bean to kick it over towards the cup, and 1 in 10 will go in. And get your spacing. Those putts break to the left. That's how you play 17. All right, moving on to 18. Last hole. Okay. So this putt breaks to the left, going up towards the trough. In the trough, and the hole sits down there. Very, very random how it comes out of that trough. Very random. I did come up with an alternate way of banking it off of this slope here, but it was such a touchy shot. So you start from the left, 1-2 from the left, 1-2 and a putter. And just get this ball turning into the trough. See how much snap that had. There you go, just like that. Get it turning in there. When it comes out of the trough, it always goes left. The other way to play it, I don't know if this is going to work. It would shoe and a putter. Cut spin. And get the ball to come off of this ridge. I got the ball to come off of this ridge like this. And it sloped all the way down towards the cup. It actually went in. That's basically the gist of how you play Kokomo Little Links. And you can go to kokomolittle.links.com to see a little bit more about the course. But if you look, it's a very, very nice facility. It's a very challenging course. I don't even know what score I shot there, but it's a very challenging course. It's a beautiful day. Come out here, check it out. I believe it is $7. We're gonna go over here to the clubhouse. So one cool thing about the clubhouse is you have a scorecard. Hello. You have a scorecard here, the QR code that you just scan it, and you can keep track of up to 6 people in your group. And another thing that the manager here wanted me to discuss is their mission. So besides just being mini golf, so This is their mission. And why would you visit Kokomo Little Links? So when you visit Kokomo Little Links, you're doing more than just playing mini golf. You are investing in our community and building up the future workforce. Bridges desires to make disciples that make disciples, and we do that through after-school programs, mentoring, housing, and employment. Specifically, your support at Kokomo Little Links helps give a Bridges student job skills and workforce experience. Our wraparound employment services include interviewing skills, building resumes, budgeting, customer service, critical thinking, and problem solving, all while serving Christ and working with all our heart. So that's part of just being more than just mini golf. And there's their logo. And another thing that they have here is really cool is shaved ice. So they have all these flavors, and I've been told that you can create over 500 different combinations with the flavors that are here. So to play mini golf, it is for a single round, $7. For 2 rounds, $12. You have group rates. They also have birthday parties going on, and they do have concessions here. They have chips, candy and chocolate, drinks, and bottles of water. So that's it here at Kokomo Little Links. This is a great facility. I'm going to keep practicing and playing and doing what I do. There is a tournament coming up here. Actually, let's set over to the side. There is a tournament coming up here, and I believe it's the first week of June. So let me get my little notes out. It is the Haynes Apperson tournament. And if you go to Haynes Apperson, I'll put that website link in the description of this video. Then you can find out a little bit more about it. The tournament is not listed on their website yet, so be patient, and it will be listed soon. They have put in their application to be part of their big sports festival that they have every year. But yeah, you go check it out. And I don't really have all the details of the tournament besides it's $10, and you want to try to post the best score you can. And then there's another format after that based on the scores that come in. So that is it for me from Kokomo Little Links here in Kokomo, Indiana. Again, it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon, April 25th, 2026. Fantastic facility. I'd like to thank Travis, the manager, for helping show me a little bit about the course. And it was a quick rundown. Said I only really hit a few shots on each hole to check it out and see what it is. So you saw I was even able to make a few hole-in-ones just in this short video with just a very minimal amount of practice. So if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks again. This is Frank Bessesi, Kokomo Little Links in Kokomo, Indiana, and we'll catch you next time.